Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase a 1-bar Oakensoul build for the Stamina Nightblade, also known as Stamblade, updated for the Firesong DLC patch. This build is capable of pulling over 91k on the parse dummy and is a solid build for group content. In the initial setup, I'll be using mythics and trial gear, so this is not a super beginner friendly build, but rather more for endgame players who prefer 1-bar builds. Keep in mind that in the closing thoughts section, there will be a gear alternative section to mix and match sets you may have. Please use these builds as a baseline, as there are many viable gear sets and skills in the game to customize how you want to play. With that being said, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a stamina, and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a Dark Elf. I think Dark Elves have some of the best passives for stamina DPS. For the food, you can run RTM Takeaway Broth as your primary food. A cheaper and almost just as good alternative would be Dubious Cameron Throne. And lastly, if you're parsing or just flat out need more sustain, then Lava Foot Soup and Salt Rice is always the go-to. For the potions, because we're running Oakensoul, we have access to the major buffs that we'd get running weapon power pots. These are Major Brutality and Major Savagery, so we can opt to just run Essence of Stamina. Another good option for some builds might be running Tri-Stat potions, where it gives you Magicka, health, and stamina back. Regardless of whichever potions you choose, make sure you have 3 points in a medicinal use from the alchemy skill line to benefit from the full duration of the potions. So for the CP, we're going to be running Exploiter, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, and Wrathful Strikes. If you don't have a source of off balance or you need more crit damage, then swap to Fighting Finesse or Backstabber. For the red tree, just make sure you have Rejuvenation slotted. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Pillar and Nirn paired with 5 pieces of Reliquin, 1 piece Slime Crawl, and 1 piece Oakensoul. So breaking it down in the main hand, we have a Pillar Nirn Dagger, Nirnhone with a flame damage enchant, and the offhand Charged with a poison damage enchant. For the head, we have 1 piece Light Slime Crawl traded in Divines with a max dam enchant. For 1 piece of the body, we have Pillar Nirn. This is in Divines with a max dam enchant as well. For the rest of the body, we have 5 pieces of Reliquin, all traded in Divines with max dam enchants. And for the jewelry, we have 2 pieces of Pillar Nirn, both traded in Bloodthirsty with weapon damage enchants. And lastly, the Oakensoul, which is also Bloodthirsty with a weapon damage enchant. For the skills, we're going to be running Merciless Resolve, Rapid Strikes, Concealed Weapon, Killer's Blade, Twisting Path, and Incapacitating Strike. For the rotation, keep up Merciless Resolve and fire your Spectral Bow at 5 stacks. Keep up your Twisting Path dynamically. Your spammable is going to be Rapid Strikes. And at about 25 to 35%, you can start using your Execute, Killer's Blade instead of your spammable. Your Concealed Weapon is just there for the passive it gives. And for your ultimate end cap, just make sure you have enough uptime on your Merciless Resolve and your Twisting Path before you use it. So for closing thoughts, your flex spot would probably be Concealed Weapon, although it does give you a nice boost to all of your damage. And if you don't want to worry about Merciless Resolve, then you can just keep up the stacks for the extra weapon and spell damage it gives you. And another thing to consider is you can choose to run Silver Shards instead of the spammable, because it is AoE and it does hit pretty hard as well. So for gear alternatives, instead of running just straight Reliquin and Pillar, you can swap it out for some sets. Some notable mentions would be Coral Riptide, although you would have to find a way to burn your stamina down. Sororia and Whirl of Depths could be good front barred. They are light armor, so you probably want to front bar it. Berserking Warrior can also be a good set. It comes in heavy armor, so you'd also want front bar. And if you want a budget build, then Order's Wrath and Hunting's Rage are good sets as well. And that wraps up the build explanation section of this portion. As always, thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. Link is in the description. As a reminder, if this video helped in any way, please help the channel grow by subscribing and liking the video. I will also have a written guide in the description for those who would prefer that. And lastly, I've also started a channel membership for those who like to go the extra step to help support me so I can focus on more content creation. And as always, feel free to stick around for the attached parse. If not, have a good day and see you in the next one.